You were not born to survive. You were born to dominate your own mind and transform your reality.
Have you ever stopped to think about why some people, even without money, connections, or luck, manage to completely transform their lives, while others, with everything in their hands, remain stuck in the same place? The truth is that it is not talent. It's not effort. And it's definitely not luck and mentality. And Napoleon Hill knew this before anyone else. He understood what few people have the courage to accept. Most fail because they have been conditioned to fail. It's hard to hear that, I know. But if you are tired of repeating cycles, of attracting scarcity, of feeling like something holds you back, then this is your turning point. Because in this video, I'm going to show you 10 simple but powerful rules that Napoleon Hill left as a legacy for those who are ready to truly change. We're not talking about temporary motivation. We're talking about mental reprogramming, about intentional manifestation, about real personal growth. And if all this makes sense to you, take advantage and subscribe to the channel now. It's quick, and this ensures that you receive all the upcoming content that will help you keep your mind sharp, your vibration high, and your path steady towards abundance. But be careful. This is not for those who want to change in a lazy way. It's for those who got tired of waiting and decided they're going to get rich from the inside out. These rules aren't just pretty concepts, they're weapons. Weapons against negative thinking, against limiting beliefs, against everything you were taught about success. And that kept you stuck until today. If you apply it until the end, you will understand why your life is no longer about what happens to you, but about who do you decide to become. So prepare your paper, your mind, and your soul, because the transformation begins now. Mastering your own mind is like taking the helm of a ship in the middle of a storm. It is there, in the silence of thoughts, that the game really begins. Napoleon Hill said that whatever the human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And that's not just a nice phrase, it's a manifestation formula. When you change your internal dialogue, you begin to reprogram your mind for personal growth, replacing limiting beliefs with affirmations that truly move you forward. Instead of saying, "This isn't for me," say, "I'm ready to get rich with my potential." This simple change of language already changes your vibration. Most people live on autopilot, repeating patterns they learned in childhood. Those inner voices that say you're not good enough are just remnants of poorly digested experiences. But you don't have to believe them anymore. The power of the mind is real, and mental reprogramming begins with intention. Practice positive thinking every day, even for 5 minutes, and notice how your energy changes. It's like tuning into a new radio station. If you want to hear a different song, you have to change the frequency. Think of Edwin Barnes, Edison's determined partner, who Napoleon Hill cites as the ultimate example of mental persistence. He had no money, influence, or credentials, but he had one decision made: to work with Edison. And it was this conviction that manifested his reality. This isn't magic, it's mental alignment with a clear vision. Having a success mindset means believing before you see. And more, act as if it were already real. Create this pattern within yourself. Whoever dominates their thoughts also dominates their emotions. When you become aware of how you respond to challenges, you gain a powerful advantage. Instead of wallowing in negative thinking, stop, breathe, and replace that thought with something that uplifts you. Read books like Who Thinks Gets Rich of Napoleon Hill, or The Power of the Subconscious by Joseph Murphy. They clearly teach you how to transform your internal dialogue into a magnetic force of achievement. A simple and powerful trick. Create a daily mantra. Something like, "I am worthy of wealth, I manifest abundance, I am self-discipline and determination." Repeat when you wake up, looking into your own eyes in the mirror. This strengthens your belief. Don't underestimate the long-term impact of this. The brain learns through repetition. And when you master this cycle, you begin to attract new opportunities, people and ideas aligned with your personal and professional development. Mastering the mindset is also understanding that fear never completely disappears. It only changes form. But the courage to face it is what sets you apart. Always think, am I training my mind or am I being trained by it? And at this exact point of reflection, you begin to realize the value of discipline. Because there's no point in thinking positive if your actions don't support this new version. And that's what we're going to talk about next. There is a common mistake that prevents thousands of people from achieving abundance, success, and personal growth: relying too much on motivation. The truth is that motivation is volatile, fragile, and often doesn't show up when you need it most. Discipline. This is a powerful tool for manifestation and mental reprogramming. Napoleon Hill was clear. Self-discipline is one of the essential pillars of a successful mindset. It's the discipline that keeps you going even when everything around you tells you to stop. People who achieve wealth and personal development are not those who wait to feel ready. They are those who do it even without wanting to. Wake up early, read a chapter of a book like Triumph Law, making the bed, taking a conscious walk while setting your goals in mind. All of this seems small, but they are micro-actions that shape a destiny. Those who train the body of discipline daily do not get lost in the tides of negative thinking. Want a practical example? Create a non-negotiable morning ritual. It can be something simple, waking up, doing mind power affirmations, drinking a glass of water with lemon, writing down 3 goals for the day, and being grateful for 3 things. This does not depend on motivation. It depends on the decision. This consistency builds internal confidence, and self-confidence is the soil where professional development and self-improvement flourish. Each well-executed habit is like a brick in the construction of your new reality. Anyone who wants to get rich needs to learn to be predictable in small things. This is how you show the universe that you are ready for more. Discipline is a sign that you have clarity. And clarity, as the law of attraction itself teaches, is fundamental to manifesting. Anyone who doesn't know what they want gets distracted by anything. Therefore, define your schedules, your goals, your priorities. Don't be someone who lives at the mercy of the impulses of the moment. It's worth remembering, discipline sets you free. It may seem contradictory, but it is real. A person who develops self-discipline does not depend on mood, climate, social network, or the opinions of others. She creates her own rhythm. And in the end, this autonomy is one of the greatest forms of abundance anyone can manifest. Self-discipline removes distractions, eliminates limiting beliefs, and builds a life of results. It's like shielding your mind against internal saboteurs. And when you understand that discipline is the engine behind continuous action, you start to look at your goals differently. They stop being vague dreams and become commitments. And that's when the game starts to change. Because if you want something big, you need to learn to go beyond your comfort zone. And that brings us straight to the next point. Nothing great comes from the comfort zone. If you want real personal growth, you need to aim high, much higher than you're used to. Napoleon Hill always emphasized the power of a clear, specific, and bold goal. When you set challenging goals, you are sending a direct message to the universe. I am ready to manifest something greater. And from there, you begin to align your mind, emotions, and actions with this new reality. Weak goals create weak results. But bold goals, those transform lives. It's not about dreaming for the sake of dreaming. It's about establishing measurable objectives with defined deadlines that help you get out of stagnation. A good example, instead of saying, I want to earn more money, establish, I will double my income in the next 6 months with my new project. This clarity not only motivates you, but activates the power of the mind toward total focus. Ambitious goals provoke your self-discipline and eliminate the limiting beliefs that previously said, this is not for me. The fear of failure is the biggest saboteur in this process. But here's the truth no one tells you. Failure is part of the process of enrichment and self-improvement. Each unsuccessful attempt is a lesson, a preparation. Remember Thomas Edison? He failed hundreds of times before hitting the lamp. And Barnes, once again, didn't immediately succeed with Edison, but he kept his goal alive. Positive thinking, combined with determined action, changes the course of any story. A good exercise is to create a vision board with your boldest goals. Place images, words, phrases that connect you emotionally with this future. Read aloud every day. This isn't just self-help, it's neuroscience and vibration. When you feed your subconscious with a powerful image of where you want to go, you begin to attract opportunities, ideas, and people that help you get there. This is manifestation in its purest form. Now be careful, big goals require emotional preparation. They expose you to discomfort, doubt, judgment. But it is precisely this friction that generates true personal development. By pursuing challenging goals, you access dormant parts of your inner strength. Mental reprogramming happens while you act. It's an invisible but profound process that even changes the way you see yourself in the world. And the truth is, when you commit to these ambitious goals, you begin to realize that not everyone will understand or support this new path of yours. Some people will question, others will criticize. And that's when the next most challenging point arises. As long as you are seeking approval from others, you will continue to live a life that is not yours. It holds you back. It suffocates you. It limits you. The truth is that no one will experience your results for you, neither pay your bills nor feel your pain. Napoleon Hill reminds us that the key to personal growth is independence of thought. Those who cling to external validation give up their own power of manifestation. To reprogram your mind, you first need to silence the noise of the world around you. Of course, the need for acceptance is natural. As children, we learn to seek praise, avoid criticism, and please. But there comes a point when this search turns into a prison. How many ideas have you stopped putting into the world for fear of judgment? How many times have you hidden because someone might not understand? This is the type of negative thinking that drains the energy of your abundance. The secret is to trust your path, even if no one else sees what you see. Want a real example? Think of the great innovators, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, even Hill. At some point, everyone has been called crazy, exaggerated, or too dreamy. But it was precisely this courage to follow their own intuition that led them to achieve wealth, professional development, and a successful mindset. There is no greater freedom than living according to your own values. And that requires strength. A lot of strength. So, if you are here reading or watching so far, I need to ask you something. Like this video and subscribe to the channel now. This is essential for the growth of our channel and ensures that you continue to receive this type of life-changing content. We are just beginning, and I want to walk with you in this process of deep personal and spiritual development. Returning to our point, stopping seeking approval also means learning to listen more to your own inner voice. You don't need to post everything, explain everything, justify each step. Sometimes the greatest revolution is silence. It means acting without fuss, evolving without announcements. When you align with your mission, the universe responds. The manifestation happens naturally, and it is at this point that self-confidence begins to blossom. Of course, there will be days when doubt will hit. This is normal, but when you stop depending on other people's opinions, you start making decisions based on clarity, not fear. And it gives you strength that you didn't even know you had before. This is when you start to embrace life's struggles as part of the growth process. And speaking of which, it is in the struggle that you find yourself. It may seem strange, even uncomfortable to hear, but it's true. The difficulties that life throws in your path are not there to destroy you. They are there to shape you. Napoleon Hill spoke firmly about how obstacles reveal the greatness hidden within us. The fight forces you to access a strength that, until then, you didn't even know you had. It is in this place of pain and overcoming that personal growth happens in depth. How many times have you thought about giving up because of failure? Because of a review? Because of a closed door? But look, every fall, every no, every failure is a spiritual, mental, and emotional training. Whoever runs away from suffering also runs away from its strength. When you accept the struggle as part of the process, you stop resisting and start learning. This is personal development in practice. This is mental reprogramming acting in real time. There is a very strong example of this, Oprah Winfrey. She grew up in poverty, suffered abuse, and was rejected countless times at the beginning of her career. But what did she do? He used every pain as fuel to enrich himself not only in money, but in his soul. This is high manifestation. When you turn your pain into power, you begin to walk a path that few have the courage to follow. And that is exactly why the few who follow this path reap extraordinary results. Accepting the struggle also means understanding that success is not an easy destination. There will be difficult days, there will be demands, there will be fear. But this is precisely what separates those who just want from those who decide. The self-discipline that is born in struggle creates an inner strength so solid that no external storm can overturn it. Fighting teaches you about yourself, strengthens you, eliminates limiting beliefs, and shows you that the impossible is just a stage of the possible. In times like these, it is essential to rely on practical tools. Write about what you are going through. Read books like Anti-Fragile by Nassim Taleb. Meditate. Use statements like, I grow through challenges, or every difficulty brings me closer to my purpose. It changes the vibration of your mind, your body, your reality. It's mind power in action. You are training your soul to resist, persist, and manifest. And look how interesting. When you start to strengthen yourself on this inner battlefield, you realize that some people around you are not ready for it. That there are people who will try to pull you down, discredit your dreams, mock your transformation. And that's when the next lesson becomes inevitable. Your mind is like a garden, and just as a plant needs light, water, and care, your thoughts need a fertile environment to flourish. Napoleon Hill made this very clear. Your mental environment is as important as your actions. There's no way to talk about personal growth and mental reprogramming if you continue to be surrounded by voices that only drag you into the hole. Negative people who live complaining, mocking other people's dreams, are weeds in the soil of your manifestation. It's hard to accept, but often, the person who delays your evolution the most is someone you like. A friend, a relative, even a partner. And do you know why? Because you are changing, and your vibration no longer matches their frequency. While you talk about abundance, they talk about crisis. While you work on your success mindset, they scoff at it as silly self-help. You can't flourish in the midst of chaos. And cutting off these influences is not selfishness, it is spiritual protection. Want to see how this manifests itself in everyday life? Start noticing who you talk to most during the week. Do these people talk about solutions or just complain? Do they inspire you or drain you? A simple change in your circle can accelerate your personal development to an absurd level. Try to be with people who believe in manifestation, who read about Napoleon Hill, who practice affirmations, who remind you of your potential. It lifts you up. And here's a powerful practice: create a mental diet. That's right. Just like you choose what you eat, start choosing what you consume emotionally. Reduce your time with people who drain your energy. Reduce news that only spreads fear. Replace shallow conversations with podcasts about mental reprogramming, videos that talk about how to manifest your dreams, books like The Secret, Think and Grow Rich, The Miracle Morning. This is not escaping reality. It is creating a new reality. Remember, your circle directly influences your abundance thermostat. If you want to get rich, you need to learn from those who have already raised your vibration. If you want to develop self-discipline, hang out with people who have consistent habits. The collective vibration affects you more than you realize. Therefore, choose wisely with whom you share your plans. Not everyone deserves access to your energy, and when you begin to clear your energy field of these toxic influences, something magical happens. Your focus expands. Your clarity increases. You stop wasting energy trying to justify or please yourself. And then, your focus becomes your greatest power. In a world where everyone is distracted, whoever dominates the focus dominates the game. Napoleon Hill already warned that concentration is one of the essential pillars of the millionaire mind. And it's true. Without focus, there is no personal growth, no manifestation, no professional development. The power of the mind needs direction. There's no point in having incredible goals, powerful affirmations, and clear intentions if you can't keep your attention where it really matters. Stop for a moment and reflect. How many times have you lost yourself on social media, in useless conversations, in worries that weren't even yours? Every distraction consumes your vital energy. Energy that could be used to get rich, to reprogram your mind, to create something great. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You can have the best water in the world, but it goes away. The secret is in sealing that bucket. This is focus. A very simple and effective practice is the Pomodoro method. 25 minutes of full attention on a task and 5 minutes of break. Do this in cycles. Put your phone in airplane mode, turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs. When you train your mind to stay focused, you begin to notice an increase in productivity and a sense of internal control. This increases your self-confidence, dispels negative thinking, and puts you in the flow of conscious manifestation. Now, if you want an even deeper level, start the day with total clarity. Take a notebook and write down your top 3 priorities for the day. No lists with 20 tasks, just 3, and commit to them. This completely changes the rhythm of your life. You begin to act with more awareness, with more intention. This is what he'll call definiteness of purpose, defined purpose. The universe responds to those who know what they want and act with precision. People who live in focus live in advantage. They eliminate excess. They don't try to do everything at once. They don't jump from course to course, from idea to idea. They choose one thing, dedicate themselves, persist, and reap. Focus is a form of applied self-discipline, a direct bridge between intention and result. What's more, it's what prevents you from falling into the traps of limiting beliefs, because it keeps your mind busy with construction, and not with sabotage. And it's exactly when this focus begins to blossom within you that something profound happens. You begin to believe in yourself in a different way. Your energy changes. His posture changes. And then self-confidence is born. Self-confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. Brick by brick, decision by decision. Napoleon Hill always reinforced that success begins with a deep belief in yourself. Not that arrogant, empty belief, but a calm conviction that you are capable of achieving what you want. And this doesn't come from outside. It doesn't come from praise, diplomas, or likes. It comes from within, from the real experience of committing to a goal, taking action, and seeing results emerge, even if they are small at first. Many people still think they need to feel confidence before acting. But the game is the opposite. You act, even in fear, and confidence comes later. This is the big turning point. Do you want to develop self-confidence? Make small promises to yourself, and keep them. Read 10 pages of a book a day, wake up at the time you choose, say no when you want to say no. With each action aligned with your integrity, your self-confidence grows stronger. And with it, your ability to manifest. Note, those who have self-confidence walk differently, speak differently, think differently. And it attracts differently too. Abundance flows more easily because the person already sees themselves as deserving of it. This eliminates limiting beliefs and makes room for mental reprogramming. A confident mind is a fertile mind, and everything you plant in it, statements, ideas, decisions, starts to germinate faster. You become a magnet for opportunities. A powerful exercise for this is keeping a victory diary. Every day before bed, write down 3 things you did well. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It could be, I followed my morning routine. I solved a difficult problem. I was kind even though I was tired. This diary will prove to you, day after day, that you are capable. This feeds the power of the mind with concrete evidence. And the mind loves proof. She needs them to sustain positive thinking and the right vibration. Furthermore, you need to protect yourself against comparisons. Self-confidence dies when you start measuring your path with other people's rulers. Each person has a rhythm, a mission, a journey. What matters is, are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you doing your best with what you have? Are you really growing? If so, this is already a manifestation. It's already wealth. It's already a success. Don't let external standards dim your light. And when this self-confidence begins to take shape, something incredible happens. You stop waiting for the universe to hand you everything on a platter and start taking bold actions. Start acting strong, with direction, with intensity. And it is exactly at this point that massive action becomes inevitable. There's no point in having an incredible plan or repeating powerful affirmations all day long if you don't get up from your chair and take action. Napoleon Hill was direct on this point. Action is the link between thought and achievement. It's like turning a wish into reality. And here's the key point. It's not just any action. It's massive action. It's going beyond the basics, beyond insurance, beyond what others are willing to do. This is where the difference lies between those who dream and those who manifest. Most people fail not because of a lack of ideas, but because of too much hesitation. They think too much, they analyze too much, they wait for the right moment, which never comes. But anyone who understands the power of the mind knows that the universe responds to boldness. Want an example? If you want to start a business, stop planning for 6 months. Launch the first version soon. Forehead. Learn. Adjust. Clarity comes from action. Abundance materializes when you move energy. Take the initiative consistently. Don't wait for cheer up. Don't wait for a green light. Create the movement. Start that channel, record the first video, write the first chapter of your book, send the message to the potential partner. Do. If you make a mistake, great. You learn. Mental reprogramming happens when you break the cycle of paralysis. Each step towards what you want sends a clear command to the universe. I am ready to receive. A good exercise is to define one bold action per day. Something that takes you out of automatic mode. It could be making a call you've been putting off, publishing an idea that you think no one will understand, sending an email asking for a partnership. These small darings accumulated create an unstoppable force. And when you couple that with positive thinking, self-discipline, and a success mindset, the world opens up. Life begins to conspire in your favor. But be careful. Massive action is not acting out of desperation. It is acting with direction, with purpose, with clarity. Therefore, before each week, take time to reflect. What actions bring me closer to my biggest goals? And act with brutal honesty. Cut out what doesn't work. Focus on what really moves the needle. This puts you at a pace of accelerated personal growth. And yes, this pace can scare those who still live in the slowness of doubt. And as you dive into this intense journey of action and creation, you will realize something fundamental. You are becoming a new version of yourself. A version that does not accommodate. That doesn't wait. That doesn't conform. a version that understood that self-improvement has no end, that there is always a next level to be explored. True success is not a trophy that you win and keep on the shelf. It's a lifestyle. It's a daily choice. Napoleon Hill said that personal growth is an ongoing process, and he was right. A success mindset isn't something you acquire once. It's something you cultivate forever. Stopping growing is starting to regress. And you're not here to go backwards. You are here to evolve, expand, manifest ever higher levels of abundance, mental reprogramming, and fulfillment. Many people seek comfort as if it were the prize. But in reality, comfort is the hidden enemy of transformation. When you stop challenging yourself, your mind rusts. Your spirit settles. Your limiting beliefs come back to dominate the scene. Therefore, try to always be on the move. Read a new book every month. Take courses. Connect with people who are a few steps above you. Feed your mind power with information that uplifts you. Want some practical examples? Read The Power of Now to Eckhart Tolle, Smarter Than the Devil of Napoleon Hill himself, and Awaken Your Inner Giant by Tony Robbins. These readings activate your consciousness. Do mentoring, participate in workshops, attend lectures on professional development and spirituality. But more than that, apply what you learn. Because knowledge without practice becomes just piled up information, not transformation. And remember, never stop asking questions. Never accept that that's just the way it is, or I already know enough. This curiosity is one of the most powerful keys to personal growth. She keeps her mind sharp, her energy vibrating high, and her soul thirsty for more. When you live in this state, manifestation happens naturally. Ideas arrive, insights come, paths open. Life becomes a continuous flow of expansion. There is an invisible force that guides those who are committed to self-improvement. This strength is not in a hurry, but it also does not allow stagnation. It's as if the universe told you, if you keep growing, I'll keep delivering. And this exchange is sacred. It is in this exchange that abundance manifests itself. May the success mentality solidify, that dreams stop being dreams and become part of your reality. And now that you understand that growth is infinite, that there is no finish line, I ask you, are you ready to live at this pace? Because if so, the next step is already knocking on your door. And the next turning point begins now. Now that you know these 10 transformation rules revealed by Napoleon Hill, tell me, which one moved you the most? Which one have you been putting off, even though you know it can change everything? Because the truth is that it's no use just knowing. You need to apply it. You need to live each principle as a lifestyle. Because only then does manifestation truly happen, and not just as a wish in the air. Will you continue sabotaging yourself with limiting beliefs, or will you finally reprogram your mind for success? Will you wait for motivation, or build your self-discipline every day? The choice is yours, and it starts now. Because what you do from today will determine what you manifest in the coming months. Will you continue blaming the world, or take control and create your own abundance? Tell me in the comments which of these rules you will start putting into practice today. I want to see you committed to your personal growth, your professional development, your real transformation. Share this video with those you know who also need to hear this. Sometimes a simple message like this can save a life. It is clear, subscribe to the channel now and turn on notifications. This is essential so that you continue to receive in-depth content like this, which goes straight to the root of your blockages and propels you to a new level of awareness, power, and results. Do you see the video that is now appearing on your screen? He didn't appear to you by chance. Click and see, as it can also help you a lot.